Caroline?
Thank you. So just a final question for you, Claire. You've had lots of questions. We are going to move on in a minute. What are your concerns about the bill's provision covering independent educational institutions, which I believe Broadleaf falls under?
So yeah, I'm deeply concerned about that. So as I said at the start, we are a committee of parents. We volunteer our time for free to run Broadleaf, and in the document that you'll all have been circulated, you'll see some of the impact that we've had, life-changing impact on people's experiences after trauma from school. Can you remind me of your question? Sorry, my mind's gone totally blank.
That's fine. It's just about your concerns about the provisions covering independent.
So, as volunteers, we are already absolutely at capacity. We are home educating our own children. We're providing exceptional, amazing things. We built a show garden for the BBC Gardeners World Show. We've written a novel with the South Bank Centre. We're providing so much already that we have no capacity to add to that. If we are then put on another duty on top of that to provide information on every child who attends, we would have to close. We do not have paid staff. We do not have the capacity to do that. On top of that, the idea of regulation or inspection is really problematic if it was to come from a body such as Ofsted, because, like I mentioned earlier, we do not work on a school-based model. We are something so polar opposite that if we had to adapt our provision, we would lose everything that makes Broadleaf so magic. And the kind of changes and transformations we see would be lost. So it would have a huge impact. And I think these settings would really, because we're not the only one, and there are other settings across the country popping up in response to the crisis in schools, and they are needed. The local authority needs our provision. And are referring to us on a regular basis. So we need to exist. And if the bill goes through in its current form and Broadleaf was to fall into scope as an independent educational institution, that would be it. For that 120 children wouldn't be seen on a regular basis through our services, and therefore by extension in other places, which I think is partly what the bill's trying to get to, a point of having those children be visible.
I just say I represent Totnes, and I can assure you that you are speaking today for many, many, many parents who I have seen, who we have a huge home education community who share your concerns, but I think it's just a question of trying to find that balance between not letting children get lost from a system and at risk of danger, while not disparaging the amazing work you do for children with special needs particularly.